On Monday night, a number of us went to Mount Messing, and we had a lot of, if you like, education. One of the things they said, and I took great note of this, what you need for a 10-minute presentation is a very, very good prop. And I thought about this. Peter is brilliant at using PowerPoint, so I've asked him to take over. Thank you very much.
I did warn you, it's a lot of me today. Okay, I'll be as quick as I can in my 10 minutes. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about BGA Architects, about who we are, what we do, the construction process, and how we could perhaps help you. We're a close-knit team of designers and architects who are able to translate clients' ideas into successful projects, which are aesthetically pleasing and at the same time commercially viable. BGA Architects are located within the heart of Essex and undertake works throughout the UK and overseas. We're involved with large multi-million-pound projects to small-scale residential developments. All projects are designed closely with members of the design and construction team to ensure the client's brief is met. We offer a full architectural service from inception to completion, as well as offering an interior design service, including the sourcing and supplying of products. Please note that all our services come with a free, no obligation consultation. Our approach has always been to put people first, our clients, communities and users and all stakeholders involved in the development process. BGA Architects undertake work in various sectors and are involved with many different aspects of the construction process. For example, construction design management, which is health and safety, building surveying services, town planning appeals and expert witnesses, to name a few. A surgeon once said to me that his job was similar to mine. I didn't understand him and asked him to explain why. He said the operating theatre, a surgeon has a team of he heads up and relies upon to complete his tasks. Whether that's the anaesthetist, nurses, cardiology or neurology, to name a few. Likewise, an architect has a number of skilled professional and tradesmen to assist them. As part of our 7-year training, we learn the vocabulary of the trades and other professions to enable us to write specifications and communicate the designs to other members of the design team. We need to coordinate between all the various design professionals, whether that's the structural engineer, quantity surveyors or mechanical and electrical engineers. It may even be the main contractor or other tradesmen to ensure that the work is carried out on time and on budget. The only real difference between surgeons' team and ours is that we probably drink a little bit more tea. As part of this presentation, I hope to talk you through the whole design process from inception to completion. That is, if you haven't already fallen asleep. Therefore, the first step is to assist the client with their brief. When this has been finalised, we can then produce the next stage. This may involve producing a feasibility study or an outline design proposal. Once this has been completed, the next stage is to submit a town plan application to the local authority. After town plan approval has been granted, we can then complete the technical building regulation drawings and tender documents so that it can be issued to contractors for pricing. Finally, we can assist the client whilst the project is on site. This may involve resolving details, issuing payment certificates and inspecting the works as they progress. An early feasibility study can be the making or breaking of a great idea, but neither result should be feared. A positive outcome can clear the ground for making offers, for raising finance and forming an appropriate team. A negative decision can crush aspirations and ruin projects. Although it may be unpopular, it can save enormous amounts of wasted expenditure. If the project is feasible, a town plan application will need to be made for any development which falls outside the scope of permitted development. This application is made to the local authority and takes approximately 8 weeks for a decision. The documentation needed to submit a town plan application consists of the following: location plans and existing and proposed plans, sections, existing and proposed elevations, planning supporting statements along with the application form, and not forgetting the most important part of the application, the local authority's fee. When town planning approval is granted, it will then be necessary to produce technical working drawings which can be used for the building regulation submission and obtain tenders from contractors. Building regulation approval can be sought from the local authority or an approved inspector and can take approximately 5 weeks for a building regulation application to be approved. These technical drawings will coordinate all the information gathered from the structural engineer and other design professionals and communicate to the contractor how the building should be constructed. This would include what materials are to be used and how they are to be fixed. Once the works commence on site, we will carry out regular site visits and inspect the works as they progress. We will also administer the building contract and issue valuation certificates for payment, therefore guiding the client through the whole process from start to finish. Whilst on site, we will resolve any unforeseen issues such as groundworks, interior detailing, or mechanical and electrical coordination, to name a few. Once all works have been carried out on site and all the building is completed, the architect will sign off on the project. This ensures that the work has been carried out to the required standards and to the satisfaction of the client. The end user is then able to enjoy the finished building. I've put together a few images from one of our latest projects which is currently under construction and showcases some of the unique and unusual features that you may not find in your typical home, and demonstrates our ability to meet the client's brief, although the works on site have not yet been completed. The client's brief was to meet their disabled needs and to help them become independent within their home. Therefore, the most challenging part of the brief was to ensure that the client could gain access to all areas of the building and operate independently of care without the typical clinical fixtures and fittings. The original arts and crafts style property which sat on the site was demolished and a new contemporary design home erected. The property consists of 3 floors and is approximately 6,000 square feet, plus a substantial swimming pool complex within the rear garden. Whilst it's not unusual for many properties to have a basement, this basement has space for 3 luxury cars and a cinema room. The cinema room has 7.1 surround sound and a starlight ceiling with its own bar, dance floor and outside lower ground terrace. The audio-visual system throughout the house is accessed via an iPad or similar device. Likewise, all doors are automatically controlled via contactless buttons or iPad control and are electronically operated. As well as this, the way in which cars access the basement is via a vehicle platform lift. This is coordinated with the vehicle entrance gates so that when you drive up to the gates, the vehicle lift is in motion. This lift is also capable of having one vehicle parked on top, whilst another is within the lift enclosure. Access to the ground floor is via a glass passenger lift or floating American walnut staircase. The glass lift is located centrally along the property access and provides a grand entrance hall with an mezzanine gallery capable of accommodating substantial pieces of art. The ground floor is laid out around the lift shaft with a formal lounge, carers' living quarters and a large open-plan kitchen family room with TV snug. This leads out onto a large patio to the rear with a concealed awning. The family room is separated from the entrance hall via a bespoke water feature wall. At first floor level, this floor plate is slightly reduced due to the large void within the entrance hall. The first floor has 2 guest bedrooms, a family bathroom and office, as well as the master bedroom suite. This is the full width of the house and has its own private terrace overlooking the garden and pool complex. It benefits from the views of the golf course beyond. The ensuite to the master bedroom incorporates a steam, shower and light therapy room with curved starlight ceiling. The master bedroom also benefits from a bioethanol fireplace which is controlled via remote control. All furniture has been designed by BGA Architects and constructed by master craftsmen. The swimming pool complex has been sunken into the ground to ensure views from the main living areas are maintained, and this is further enhanced by the green roof installed. The swimming pool complex has its own resistance machine and changing facilities, and the remainder of the garden has been designed by ourselves with entertainment terraces at all levels. Naturally, security for the site is at the highest domestic grade and enables clients to check and operate all CCTV from around the world. I hope this gives you an insight into one of the roles we play as architects in the construction industry, and I would just like to say thank you for listening, and does anyone have any questions? Thank you. questions for Peter and Bernard, please?
Although that house is probably really fun to design, what other projects, what's the most fun project you guys have undertaken?
I think it all varies, to be honest. As long as there's something new and interesting on each individual project, I think that's always fun. You're researching different materials, how you put them together is always interesting. If you had the same thing you're building every day, day in and day out, I think that would get a little bit boring, like designing toilets for argument's sake. But as long as there's something different and unique in each project, they're all fun, really.
On your list of services, you list the term expert witness. What does that involve?
It's going to court. Somebody like Helen will have a person. One particular instance, I was employed by a firm, not Helen, by another firm of solicitors. Two neighbours were enemies, and they reckoned that there was about 10 or 11 counts, but it went to court and it lasted 3 days. It was all because it started with a door that wouldn't open, a gate that used to swell within the summer, and it became smaller in the winter. It was wood, which was ridiculous, but nevertheless, on each of the counts I put forward evidence, and the judge preferred my evidence for all the cases, and the person went away with £40,000 or £50,000 bill. He had to sell his house. That's an expert witness.
Any other questions?
With regard to the planning applications, is it if you need retrospective planning, so if you go ahead and you build your house without getting permission first, and for whatever reason you need to go back, is the retrospective planning permission process the same, and is it going to be a lot more costly?
No, it's exactly the same process. It's just that obviously you run the risk that they may take enforcement and take action against you.
Yeah.
Are we all good?